What's up, geeks and gamers? My name is Draymond, and welcome to Thorium Gaming. We're back with episode 14 of Knightly Valor, our attempts to bring the light of the Lady of the Lake to the old world, and eventually fight off the forces of chaos, which aren't that far out now, and we've almost got all of Bretonnia unified. So we've been at war with Talia, and we pushed them back to Bilbali. Sometimes the names kind of catch, but you know how it is. We took back Castle Sarcesson and Brionne, giving us the entire region, and of course the Tower of the Fey Enchantress, even though I'm not really sure if we can hire her on yet. Pretty sure we can't, which is a shame. We might be able to if we build, if I go into the browser properly, the Tower of the Fey Enchantress. So there is that. There's hope. But either way, the Untainted in all provinces is awesome. Let's click that over back to the building browser. So we've got a few armies down here. The King, of course. We've got Lord Muffin and Chiffroy, because, well, they helped out. Lord Phoenix, who still has the Green Knight in his army, is headed back up towards Castle Artois. And we do have Norskins coming in from the north, but Grimaldus is ready for them. You can put him back to normal stance right now. We'll see if they land, or if they decide to skirt around. Whatever they end up doing, Chaplain will take care of them. Now, we are really shy on funds, but we do have overseas colonies now. They're kind of sacrificial in a way, and kind of not. Lord Eddie, of course, is holding on to Al Haik. Give us a foothold down in the desert. Wulfrik is down there, and we have Martek, though not really sure what we're going to do with Martek. We don't really want to push against the Tomb Kings, but Eddie's kind of in control of Al-Halik, Kofur, and Martek for now. Chaos forces might show up down there at some point. But the basic plan now, since we have almost got all of Bretonnia secure, we can try to get Paravon to confederate with us. Doesn't look like they're going to, but there's always a chance. We can start looking beyond the borders of Bretonnia. Now, best bet is probably play nice with the Wood Elves and push through down to the south. It's kind of the only real option we have. We could skirt through the mountain pass here and start taking the fight to the Crooked Moon up north. It's a long trek around the mountains, and there's some places in here that are dangerous terrain that'll kind of rough up our armies a little bit. Not too concerned about it. And Phoenix does have the Aura of the Lady, which is alright. We just need to see where everything is going to go. Now, Skaven Blight is under attack from something, and I don't know what it is. Well, we can't see down there. I could send a hero down to take a quick peek. Actually, what we should probably do, the Green Knight is going to be pretty much used up here pretty quick. So we'll get him to go down and do a little bit of scouting for us before his usefulness is done. We'll get him again at 800 chivalry. So it's not too big a deal. And we'll continue trying to make Paravon scared of our military might. I know it's kind of a long intro today, but you'll forgive me a little bit. The cold has been keeping me up all night, so I'm trying to get all my thoughts out as quickly as I can. But let's hand it off to the other nations and see what they want to do. And Furix was moving, and I forgot that he had to move. So, alright, he was headed towards Al-Halik. Haik. Some of the names, especially in the Southlands, Araby, all that, they're kind of hard to pronounce. I'm glad they put them in. And the Vampire Coast DLC came out, and it was great. I've already discussed it. The only thing I think it's going to affect in this particular campaign is that all naval battles will have a chance to take place on land now. I'm assuming that took over. If not, so be it. But it'd be cool if it did. And it looks like the Empire is trying to hit the Orcs and Goblins too. I'm not opposed to that. Why they're using warrior priests to lead their armies, kind of beyond me, but it's the Empire. If they're strong and going good, them and Kislev, well, they might hold on a little bit longer when the real bad guys show up. And it's good to see Ortbad, the Moot, and Averheim holding off the vampires. That's the other option that we have. We could swing around through to the Southlands. We can make peace with Talia. The only reason we went to war with them in the first place was to take back what is Bretonnian soil. And they're kind of a buffer against forces moving around down there. We'll leave some forces in place. But we could skirt around the edge of the forests, or make peace with the wood elves and slip our way through, and go over and start dealing some heavy hits to the vampire counts. I believe we still have the Death's Door decree, so every time we fight the vampire counts it'll be easier on us. Well, it'll give us chivalry and everything. It seems like the vampires are doing a fair amount of damage up in the mountains. Carrick Dromar is usually a dwarven realm. Actually, all of the mountain realms really are. But if we can kind of sort of get them pushed out of there? Oh, there's Wulfrik the Wanderer again. So I guess Phoenix is going to have to double time it up to get back to help out Chaplain. Carlos Shiptaker I'm not worried about, but Wulfrik is a bit of a pain. He's going to keep coming at us for pretty much the entirety of the campaign. He always does. I don't know what it is with the Norskins and their hate for Bretonnia. I don't know. Could be something to do with the Lady of the Lake, but we'll figure it out as we go. Now, where Sir John Tyrald of that is going.
I am its king. For the lady's sake, state your demand, so I can reject them.
Wow, that was kind of what I was thinking anyway. So, yeah, we'll take peace with Talia. It'll give us a chance to reorganize our forces and start maybe looking towards pushing past the Wood Elves. It's not really a great idea. I don't want to go to war with them. I don't want to take out another faction of the forces of order. Just doesn't work really well that way. We have a paladin ready for duty. And we get minus control in all provinces for 15 turns. Perfect. By which I mean it's totally not perfect.
I will not forsake my honor.
Alright. So let's get the Green Knight to continue on where he was going. I want to see what is up there. Someone gained a level here. Is it the king? No, it is SarPC. We could get him a Pegasus now, but it would make him incredibly easy to hit. So we'll take the Lady's Mantle for right now. Lord Muffin hasn't moved. And what's the Wood Elves' opinion of us? Unfriendly but improving.
The friendship of our great ladies has brought you passage to Athel Loren. Nothing more.
It's kind of an ironic statement from Orion.
How dare you?
Oh, they didn't want to accept the non-agression pact. He is an isolationist, though, so kind of to be expected. Now, Phoenix, we're going to get you to double time it to come up here and help Chaplain out. I don't think he'll need it, because usually the Norscan armies they've been sending against us. They've got Warhounds, which can be dealt with by our cavalry. They're Marauders, again, by our cavalry. Don't really know what the rest of it is. They do have 3 more units than we do, though. Let's get Chaplain a couple of units of Knights of the Realm. That'll give us some anti-large punch to add to the heavy anti-infantry punch that is the Questing Knights and the Knights Errant. And Muffin, we will get you to encamp. And Jerome Letard just came on. So, let's go with Sarimon. And he can go out and do a little bit of scouting too. Not too sure what the Norskins are hoping to achieve. They keep sending armies down that get devastated. So we'll see. Castle Artois has the ability to upgrade. But we don't have really the funds for it right now. I'd really like it if the Wood Elves would kind of take our side. If we can make peace and get all happy with them, it'd be great. We're going to keep trying for Paravon. Now, Origio is those guys there. Our reputation with them is nowhere near high enough. And Knights of the Flame, same sort of thing. Can't really do much with them. But with peace kind of on the horizon for us, I guess we get to kind of sit back and build up. It's either been intense states of war or sitting back and letting the other nations dabble around. Kind of hoping that we get to go on the offensive soon enough, though. Get a couple of errantry armies out there, deal some heavy hammer blows to the vampires, the orcs, you know, all the bad things that are in the world right now, so that our allies in the Empire can stop worrying about them so much and start just straight up dealing with chaos when it gets here. Their infantry just outclasses ours in every way. So if we get into a fight with one of the Chaos warbands or warlords, having an Empire army reinforcing us would not be a bad thing. Their infantry, the greatswords especially, would be a big, big complement to all of our cavalry. Kind of creepy that there's a giant skull in the mountains now too, because the vampire counts own it. I'm really hoping that the dwarves are doing okay against the orcs and goblins. It's kind of their stick. Though our relative power is extremely high compared to the vampire counts, so that helps us a little bit. Be nice to see a few temples of the Grail go up over there. And where is Wulfrik off to? Wonder if he's going to do the same thing Alariel did for a while. Just bounce back and forth between the two places until we scare them off.
You tread upon Bretonnian land. I'll have your will, and I'll have it now.
And Greybeard's Prospectors. Yeah, we'll take a non-aggression pact with some dwarves. Dwarf economies are always great. Then again, they're great miners and builders, to quote Master Tolkien. And I guess since we took a lot of the weight off of the Knights of Origio, they have been able to expand because they're not getting beat down by the Tomb Kings who don't want to go to war with us. So it kind of helps out. It's a very political situation right now. Now ideally, Paravon would get a vicious defeat. Not lose a city, but just get beat on by the Wood Elves. Lose one of those army stacks, then they'd really, really be in a situation where they kind of need to confederate with us. I've been hearing rumors that if you get a military alliance with people, that it reduces the chance for confederation. Defensive alliances don't do anything towards it, but military ones do. Not so worried about Corone. Its garrison is fairly large and fairly substantial with Grail Knights in it. Shiffroy, you can go into... Oh, he ran some captives. How many terms do I have left, I wonder? Again, that was before we kind of adopted him. And Skaven rebels are attacking Skaven Blight. Which is something that we might be able to deal with.
You have been granted access to my halls. I will not obey.
Isolationist. So what does that actually do? They just don't like us. Outsiders, in general. Alright, where is Paravon?
Protector of the welcome, friends. Let's hope we can. No.
Really want Paravon to kind of capitulate to us. And we are definitely getting Castle Sarsassone up. And then next turn we will have the Green Tide Decree against the Orcs. Really need the Wood Elves. I wonder, can we give them a gift?
That I must listen to you. Very well.
And hopefully, yeah, that will definitely increase our standing with them a bit. Then we might be able to get the non-agression pact in the next couple of turns. It's worth 850 gold.
Paladin of Bretonia. To victory.
Defender of the weak.
Let's do a little bit more scouting down south, too. Gorgazan is actually an orcish settlement. For the Savage Orcs, it's a holy site. If we can see what we can see down here, we might be able to do a bit more. There's Khemri, the actual home of Cetra. There's not much else we can do on this turn. I'm really eager to see what the Norskins are going to do here. Did we manually move Phoenix, though?
Blessings of the lady.
I'd love to get him as quickly up here as we can and not have to wait the extra time. So once he's done moving, why he decided to go down the coast is beyond me, but okay. At least there's no ships for Chaplain to take apart. No, I haven't forgotten, and no, I'm not letting you live it down. Alright, so Skarsnik got beaten. And Volkmar the Grim, he just keeps going back and forth between the Moot and Fort Oberstyre. Stryer. Again, some of the names are not exactly easy to say. There's Kislev itself. Essen's in ruins, which is a little weird. I think the vampire counts took that, though. I know that the von Karstein line, which is Vlad and Isabella, they have a quest that goes through there. I think it's for Vlad's sword. Very good sword, but still his sword. Doesn't make really much sense that it's in ruins unless the vampires took it and then the Empire took it back. Mr. Heinrich Kemmler. I really wish they would have put his white companion in Krell, I think his name is. Obsidian Battle Axe. Very powerful white lord. Kind of added to the backstory. I wish they put him in as like a bodyguard or something. Make it a two-man unit. Alright, Norsca, what are you doing? Alright, looks like he's coming to have some fun. That's a mutant shaman. Some things are changing hands on Ultron. We just saw a color change, so that means the city got taken. Or burned. One of the two. Are you guys actually going to take Xandri? That would be kind of cool. If the errantry wars start taking over Tomb King's cities, then it works for us pretty well. Almost looked like Magritta was under siege there for a second, but they're not. Wonder if that army is headed off to deal with the rebels at Skavenblight. I mean, kudos to Talia for taking it over. It's the capital of the Skaven Under Empire, one of the major rat nests. The other two are out in Lustria and up past Kislev in the mountains, which is the pit? Helmaw pit, or something like that. Clan Mulder's little base. They've got a warren of tunnels and a bunch of weird stuff underground. Alright, so we have the Kreen Tide Decree. We don't really need the Heraldry of Sarsassone, but it would give us access to the other 3. See, the High Seas Decree is in here. We win against the Vampire Coast, it's more chivalry. But the other thing is it's minus 25% attrition suffered from vampire attrition. So we can grab that one and make it 50% with the other one. For right now, I think we're going to look to our industry a little bit. The census doesn't really matter. Charity would be great, but what are we missing for it? Oh, town census. Durr. So more chivalry and more control for all of our provinces. It actually gives us some really, really good options later on. So we'll go with town census for now.
Armored in faith.
And Grimaldus, you can camp, get your guys all rested up.
Protector of the realm.
Phoenix, I don't want to put you into a position where you're going to have to deal with the Norskins on your own, even though you do have the special Knights of the Realm, so we're just going to put you over near Lyonesse. That way, if you do get jumped, you'll have the Lyonesse garrison. Well, it's not very big yet. It is going to help you out. Furix, while we're waiting, why don't we get you to go off and start exploring down this way. And Aquitaine can be leveled up. We might actually be looking at a rebellion in Bordeaux. If we take off the taxes, that's still minus 8 per turn, which means we might have to bring Phoenix back down or send one of these generals up. I think sending one of these generals up would help. Let's send Chiffroy up towards Bordeaux. It's the events, the taxes, and the corruption that's pushing it over. We still have another 13 turns left on that.
You stand before the king in the woods. Yes.
There we go. A non-aggression pact with the Wood Elves. So we're not going to get smashed by them anytime soon. And even with the minus 42, we're suffering from our trees with Paravon. It's not going to hurt us too much.
Lord of Bretonia.
And they're probably going to dislike us a little bit from our treaties with the Wood Elves.
Welcome to fair Bretonia. I refuse.
I'd really rather not have to go to war with Paravon to claim the last 3 cities in Bretonia. But I'm willing to if it comes to that. Especially since we have a lot of knights and they have a lot of peasants. I think they've only got 1 set of knights, in fact. They don't even have a set of knights. So the only knights they have come from their garrisons. The garrisons are fairly large, so there is that. So hopefully we'll be able to get a military access pact with the Wood Elves and travel through their territory. Because I sincerely doubt we'll get one with Talia anytime soon. We're improving our relations with Talia just a bit. Kind of want to keep Ahriman near Zandri to see what's going to go on with that. Really, really nice if they ended up taking it out. But we can send Furix down to the south. Looks like the followers in Nagash don't like us right now, but I'd rather not take them on. Because again, we're going to have to defend all this when Chaos shows up. And they'll show up sooner rather than later. Now, the other thing I wanted to do while we're here, we're all pretty much set with the Empire. Let's see what we can do with the High Elves.
Queen of Avalon, you stand before the mistress of the...
Wisdom awaits. What do you want? Never.
Asur princess. Come, simple creature. Sit and... Never.
Wow. None of the elves want to have anything to do with us right now. But you know what? That's kind of alright. So let's pass it off to the other nations and see what they end up doing. And the Empire's taken Essen, so hopefully that'll keep the vampiric corruption up there in check, at least for now. And Volkmar looks like he's running down one of the armies. Definitely doesn't hurt. Oh, he beat Kemmler. That's always a bonus. Wait, Tempelhof is still alive? Wow. Because Schwarzhofen got taken out. I think the regular vampire, or the von Karstein line is gone. Might be gone. Not entirely sure. So why is Tempelhof still around? And Balthazar Gelt doesn't have his Pegasus yet. Though he should. And Clan Angrund is now confederated with the dwarves. So their control actually extends all across the mountain range south of Bretonnia. If they ended up confederating with the dwarves that are just to our northeast, that'd be kind of cool. I was almost tempted to do a Dwarven playthrough where all you go after is the different mountain holds. So a lot of fighting in the southeast, a lot of fighting along the edges of Bretonnia, and then up towards the north, collecting all the little Dwarven kingdoms as you go. But the Dwarven style of combat really is not my favorite, shall we say. And it looks like they decided to come have some fun after all. So let's give one of the units of questing knights the banner that causes fear, and we'll have reinforcements from Languille. They don't really have... Oh, they have a feral mammoth. Good thing we got Knights of the Realm. Hopefully we'll be able to do something with this. So let's jump into it and see how it turns out. Alright, we don't know where they're coming from just yet, so let's set up a line of infantry. Our line of archers. Now I specifically left the Grail Relique kind of separate, because we're going to put it right here. Get our Knights of the Realm, put them over here, and swap them to the Lance. Our Questing Knights, get them in a position over here. Then we'll back them up with our Knights Errant. And then Grimaldus will be in the dead center. I think he's cavalry now. Yes, yes he is. So let's actually try and get him a clear charge path. That's a little bit better. So it's the feral mammoth that I'm kind of worried about. Not overtly worried, but just kind of worried. I don't really like how they're setting up on us. Marauder Berserkers, if they're that separated, send one unit of questing knights over to deal with them. Oh, they're going to try and overwhelm that flank. So let's get our Knights Errant to swing back around and help out. It's the feral mammoth that I'm worried about. It's already taking shots. Alright, now that the other set of infantry is actually on the map, we might just have to go a little bit hog wild. Just deal with these guys en masse. Looks like the skin wolves are already breaking. The warhounds over there are already broken. spin our knights errant around to deal with them.
Infantry! Ready for battle! Bretonians, attack!
Wulfrik kind of disappeared over to the back here.
Twisting knights! Glory cords! Ride them
Charge
down!
the flank with those guys. That sets up a few fights that we definitely can win. Let's have our paladin over here attack that sorcerer. Have our questing knights go after the marauders. Bring the infantry up behind enemy lines as best we can. Bring our archers up on the hill. And we can let our yeomen help out the paladin. Spearmen have bonus against large, but they're definitely losing that fight.
Bretonian law!
I'll have the Lord go over and start helping out with the mammoth.
Tilt! Aye! Get out of here!
Our Knights of the Realm are engaging infantry, which is not ideal.
Twisting knights!
And we've completely broken one set of their units. Mammoth is starting to retreat.
To Bretonian!
Alright, Grimaldus, you can go after...
The Grail Reliquary! Spearmen at arms! Ready! Spearmen at arms!
Let's get all of our troops over there into the fight. Have our Knights of the Realm go charge the mammoth. Let the berserkers get hit by
Tilt! Aye!
other stuff. Apparently one unit of our questing knights decided not to get involved in the fight.
Fighters! We serve!
I would much rather it that the extended units that we're getting over here take the damage and the losses, but it is what it is. We can't really help it at this point.
Withdraw! For the lady! Attack!
All I know for sure is that if Wulfrik goes down,
Noble and pious! Twisting knights!
oh,
Lord of Bretonian!
yeah, Chaplain, we might need to pull you out of that fight quickly.
Knights! Protector of the realm!
But thankfully you're cavalry, so it's not hard to get you in and out of the fights.
Out! Slay the unchivalrous fools! Cut them down! Attack!
Yeah, our knightly units took a fairly large beating. That mammoth is almost dead, though.
We are ready! Immediately! Havana! Knights errant! Lord of Bretonia! Honor and glory!
And we have a victory, but Wulfrik himself is not dead yet. So let's see what we can do about that. Bring all of our remaining cavalry units. See if we can wipe him out. Just because if we complete... There we go. Now that he's completely wounded, that cripples his ability to lead for a while. And we lost a lot of troops in that. But Wulfrik picked the fight, and he lost more. Not a whole lot more, but more. So we may have to replenish our knightly units. We lost one full unit of Knights of the Realm. That looks like it, though. And Grimaldus got Ruin's End and a level, so definitely call that a win. And then we can bring Phoenix up to help Chaplain take him on. And Avalorn's at war with Karon-Kar, Arganeth, Nagarond, and Clan Rictus. So that was a big war. And the Knights of Origio just lost in a big way against the Tomb Kings. How that's even possible is beyond me, but it happened. A little curious as to what Talia's plans are going to be, because now they're going to the ocean? Skaven Blight's still in their hands? It's still in their hands. They did add the other Southern Kingdom factions with the Vampire Codes DLC, so it is split up down there a little bit. Talia is no longer a force to be reckoned with in the Mortal Empires campaign, with the newest DLC, that is. And yeah, it's kind of fun. Alright, so we've got a noble feast and a lot of leftovers. So we can either get growth or happy merchants. We're going to go with the merchants because money right now is a big deal. So Lord Grimaldus. Oh, so many good things that we could pick right now. But I think we're going to go with full plate armor. If you're harder to kill, you're harder to kill. And Phoenix, you should be in a position to move within range. And then Grimaldus, you should be able to come down and finish them off. And he's going to run, but he didn't run far enough.
My reputation precedes me. Leaving.
So Phoenix will get you to reinforce. Hopefully you'll get the Savior trait. And that's well outside our normal limitations. We didn't lose any full units, so that's good.
Taking my lead.
And we got a Ruby Ring of Ruin. Killed a couple of enemy leaders. Got Confident Attacker. Savior. Attacker. Yes, that's a new word. We're going to go with it.
Valiant Lord.
Furix gained a level, so we'll give him Blade Master, at least for now. And he can keep coming down to spy on the followers of Nagash. That was kind of a major loss for the Knights of Origio, and that's all they had to face was one Tomb Prince, Nehekara warriors, skeleton archers, horsemen, and Ushabti, and they lost?
Welcome, friends.
They're pathetic compared to us now.
Come to an accommodation.
But it's good in the fact that it gives us the option to get a trade agreement, possibly some military access, and that was about it. But it crushed their military might, which is what we need to have happen to Paravon. Alright, now Arimon, since we don't need you to watch that anymore, we can get you to go out and see what the state of the Southlands is.
My reputation.
Muffin, your forces are almost fully healed.
Light of the lady.
Lewins are. Dai and Ryan are pretty much set up where they have to be.
Very well, I go.
Muffin needs to, or Shifroy, needs to get over there. We can possibly hold on to all of it. We could upgrade Musalon, but we don't really need to. We definitely need to confederate with Paravon, which means they need to suffer some sort of tragic military loss.
My lady informs me that I must listen to you.
Now, if you would just listen and give us military access, we could just, you know, skirt through the edge of the woods here in one turn and not even have to worry about annoying you. And then go kill some enemies. Now, the dwarves, though, are we fully allied with them yet? We're not even started with them yet. So we'll take the non-aggression pact, that's for sure.
The Empire.
Make sure we're finished with the Empire.
Brothers from across.
That's pretty much it. Is there anything we can do with Lothern?
And I bid you I cannot.
Alright now. So that's going to be that. We'll give it over to the other nations for one more turn for this week. And of course I forgot to move the Green Knight, but silly me. Tabaro is in Dwarven hands? Well, that was unexpected. Now, with any luck, the Empire will take the rest of the vampire counts out. They'll take Castle Templehof, start rolling through Schwarzhaven, Eschen, and then Drakenhof, and hold them and get rid of all the vampiric corruption so we don't have to worry about it. What? I can dream. I can hope. Well, sort of. It's probably not going to happen. Especially considering there's still vampiric corruption in Averheim, Wurtbad, and the Moot. But I can really hope that they could do what I want. Doesn't mean they're going to, but leave a fool his dreams. And the Cracked Moon is really, really, really in a bad spot. I guess when Skarsnik got decimated, it opened it up for the Empire to really do some damage to them. And yeah, the Von Karsteins are gone. Well, Vlad and Isabella. So that doesn't leave too many normal threats to us right now. I mean, of course, there's all the stuff in the west, the Dark Elves, the Druchii, the Skaven, there's one other one up there. There is a Tomb King's faction over there, which is a little weird. And there's probably some chaos, corruption, and everything over there too, but that's not really here nor there. In the south, it's all, or the southwest, I should say, it's all Skaven that are fighting the lizard men in the jungles of Lustria. Clan Pestilence is down there. So mostly speaking, all of the threats to us are either just south of us, due south of us, or to the east in some way, shape, or form. And no, I don't really consider the Norskins a threat, more a giant irritation. But anyway, guys, that's probably a good place to call it for this week. Especially since I'm still recovering from that cold, so it's kind of getting hard to talk. So if you liked the video, guys, please consider hitting that like button. If you'd like to join up with the 232, possibly pop up in this or other Let's Plays, just hit that subscribe button. And make sure you turn your notifications on so you don't miss when a new video goes out. Remember, guys, life is a game, so play to win. And until next time, take care.